That was Doja Cat. That was Doja Cat, Scarlet. So I'm not sure what happened with these first three songs, but I don't think these three songs serve as a good intro to this album because the rest of the album was not like this. The first four, let's call it the first quarter of the album, 4 or 5 songs ish, she was very critical of like some haters that she's talking about. There is some hater out there. There is some beef that she's in that she is very upset about, and it's driving her commentary on these first 4 songs. So my whole thing is, I'm like, what is Doja like? Who is she responding to, right? Like, what has gotten her so mad? I never see her in rap beef. What's her issue, right? But this is what I think she's doing. I'm gonna play this Tom Brady interview and watch how Tom Brady is creating enemies in his head to be more motivated. This is what I think Doja Cat is doing the more I listen to this.
Because it was motivating. The more I could create an enemy, the more I wanted to go out and kill those guys. Now, I knew I wasn't gonna kill them physically, but man, if I could just, what did they say? You know, and what did they look like? And did they disrespect me at all? You know, and did that say something?
I think that's what Doja Cat is doing.
Like, those are little things that can get me right in the emotional frame of mind that when I ran on the field and I said, let's fucking go. It was really, let's go kick some ass.
So I think that's what Doja Cat's doing here. I think she's like manufacturing beefs in her head. Unless the people in the comments want to chime in, if you are on the female rap room all day and you're on the shade room, because this isn't like she's talking about like a relationship or something and that's driving her to make these songs and she's like, fuck this nigga, da da da. But we just don't know because it's her personal life. No, this isn't. She's like talking about her contemporaries, her peers, is what it sounds like. But I think she's just manufacturing, like we just saw with the Tom Brady clip, beef in her head. Maybe because she is feeling like she's critiqued her music already, her past music. Like she's critiqued her previous albums as basically not being up to her own creative par. So maybe she's like losing creativity or something, and she just needs some type of spark. So she's creating this shit in her head, like we just saw with Tom Brady. That gives her more motivation because she keeps saying on this album, I have money, I have money, I have money. Like I have nothing else to prove, basically. But when you start getting to that level of comfortability, you have the money, you have the hit records, and she's keep mentioning this, I have hits, I have money, I have hits, I have money. You sometimes need another thing to drive you. So I think that's what's happening. Like she's just creating shit to be like, okay, I have a new enemy. Okay, now I'm back in my zone. Right? After that, once we get about like here to ouchies, all the way until like track number 14, which is most of the album, 5 to 13. During this run, 5 through 14, it's very chilled out. It's distinctly different in both sound and her subject matter. She's not like super hyped up on this whatever beef is going on. There are love songs in here about her life, about her team, about, you know, a person she's talking about. Agora Hills, like there's like some type of romance going on. Like it's just 5 through 14, it's totally different than the first 4 songs. Attention, which is track 15, it harkens back to what she was on during this time of the album. Her just talking about the critics and just being very self-aware of her place in the music industry. So Attention does relate back to these songs. But other than that, like, this is what the album's about, 5 through 14. This is the album. That's the greater majority of the album, and this is distinctly different than what she opened with. So I understand you gotta roll out. She's dresses the devil. She's releases the more controversial songs like Attention as singles, Paint the Town Red. bald head, all this stuff. I get it. You want to have an album roll out. You want to, I mean, she's a superstar. She's one of the biggest rappers out. So she doesn't really need to do much. She needed to do something to roll the album out because she doesn't have like any obvious hit song. Like she doesn't have a say so on this album, and she's not trying to. She is going very heavily against the pop sound. Doja Cat leaned very heavily into hip hop on this album, and not hip hop like drill or trap, which is the dominant sound in rap still. It's been like fucking 15 years almost, and it's still trap. Like, you niggas need to move off of trap, bro. Move on. So she was very poignant to lean into hip hop and away from pop, but she's not leaning into the mainstream hip hop sounding. She's going like even further left. Even though if you're a hip hop listener like me, you listen to a lot of underground, you listen to a lot of different types of rap, not just mainstream. The beats and the sound that she has on this album, it's not like left field, or it's not like wonky. It's not unique, the sound she's rapping over. But for a mainstream artist such as herself, the sound she's leaning into is different, considering where she's at in her career as a mainstream pop hip hop superstar. So it's not like I'm not saying these beats are so different and I've never heard anything like this. No, like there are songs on here like often I'm like, yo, this is like an Erykah Badu song. Like I've heard this song before. I feel like there are songs like Agora Hills, like, yo, this kind of sounds like Cody Shane did, years ago. There are songs like Balut where I'm like, yo, this is like an Alchemist beat. So it's not like anything. It's not like nothing we've ever heard before. Especially if you watch my channel, we listen to a lot of underground music. But for a pop star to do this and to lean completely away from pop and to go towards this sound, and it's not like she's leaning into trap or drill. She's leaning into a more hip hop sound that's not really dominant in the radio or in hip hop right now. So she's kind of leaning more towards a traditional type sound. That's the best way I can describe it, right? But it's a conscious decision to do that, right? There are no big singles on here. I won't say big. I mean, there are songs that are extremely popular, but there are no like, yo, radio singles. Yo, get us onto the radio. I like this album though. I think because of the sound and the content, this is a Doja Cat album that I can see, and I've replayed her albums before, but her other albums were like very targeted towards women. And I really liked Planet Her. I reacted to Planet Her, her album Planet Her. I liked it, but Niggas Ain't Shit, other types of songs like that, like, yo, I'm not gonna listen to that often. I'm just not. But and you can tell with those types of songs, she was targeting an audience. Like she's like, yo, I'm trying to get on this radio. I'm trying to get this popularity so I can buy this mansion that she's talking about on this album, et cetera, et cetera. But on this album, it's not like that. Like it's not targeted towards anyone. It kind of just feels like Doja Cat doing the type of music she wants to do, which you don't hear often from a mainstream artist she's still releasing music on RCA, mainstream label, Kimosabi, right? So it is refreshing to hear this, right? Obviously, I need to give this album multiple listens. It's 17 songs. It doesn't feel that long. No features. She on her J. Cole. No features. It takes a special artist to do an album with no features and then not have the album just be boring or get tiring, get listeners fatigue. She has so many different flows, different deliveries, yo. She has she can sing on it, she can rap, she can do different types of stuff. So this is what makes Doja Cat like one of the best out. She's one of my top 5 favorite rappers, really top 2 or 3. Really, I would say she's my favorite rapper out. She just does so many great things well, and obviously, I have a West Coast bias, being from LA, and Doja Cat obviously is from LA. So all that being said, I know you guys want me to rate the album out of 5 stars. I don't like doing this on the first listen, but I know you guys like to have a number, a general thesis to go off of. So I would give this off one listen 4 out of 5 stars. I think this is a great album. I think it's very well sequenced with all the different sounds we have on this album. I think it's very well sequenced. I like how it goes out of often into Love Life and then into Skull and Bones, right? The only thing I would say is these first 3 songs. Track number 2, I did not like at all. I think I skipped that song. I don't know if I would keep these on, or I would maybe move them around in this sequencing. But like if the album started off with number 4 and then ended how it ended, then I would love the album even more. But I think it's a great album. She's obviously Doja. She's going for something different. I don't know what this album cover is. What is this, a spider? Or I don't know what it is. I don't know what Scarlet is meant to mean. Is it like the Scarlet letter? Scarlet is spelled here. Is Scarlet have 1 T in it? I feel like it should have 2 T's. Let me see. Scarlet. Yeah, so she spelled it. She spelled Scarlet without a T. I'm sure there is some meaning in here that I'm not getting. But yeah. Anyways, that was Scarlet by Big Doja Cat. Big Doja. Shout out to Doja Cat. One of the best out right now. Been one of the best out and is currently one of the best. Doja Cat is going to go down, in my opinion, as the best female rapper of all time. Unless some allegation comes out that she doesn't write her songs, her raps, or some shit. Like, Nicki's number 1. Doja Cat is going to retire as number 1. She's just the best out right now. So anyways, be sure to subscribe if you have not already. This is top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.